इतना सफर है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Very good afternoon, each one of you who has joined us today for this particular webinar. Franchise India team welcomes you to Business Opportunity of Chai webinar series. This is a digital representation of the brand of the day. Franchise India, the brand which is known for providing services to both our investors as well as brands. We truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped international and national brands for their franchise expansion with our extensive network. And we have helped thousands of investors in getting the suggestions and franchise business from us. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. During the course of the webinar, they'll be talking about the industry, changes in industry, their viewpoint, and their word of caution with each one of us. And we welcome our brand of the day. Today, we are bringing and representing Shadowfax. Shadowfax is India's largest and leading logistic brand. If I talk about their facts and figures, they're already present in 500 plus cities with 7,000 plus pin codes. And every day they are catering 500K plus orders. That's the penetration they are operating and adding value in the market. And we welcome team of Shadowfax to present their business model with each one of you who has joined us today. Thank you so much, Mr. Sahu. Thank you so much, Mr. Ankit Kala and Ajit for joining in today. Over to you to share your business model with each one of us.
Hey, thanks, Achana. Thanks a lot for the introduction. We are equally as excited as you are meeting the first set of entrepreneurs who are here today and are willing to get in partnership with us through Franchise India. Uh, I'll start with introduction of your team. Myself, I'm Ajit. I head the expansion and franchisee for e-commerce business of Shadowfax. I have along with here Mr. Bita Sahu, who's our VP e-commerce business, and Ankit Kala, who's our VP operation strategy. I'll start with some presentation during the course of which we'll also run you through what Shadowfax is, what we do, how was our growth story, and also take you through what is the opportunity that we have for the investors who are with us today. Just give me a moment so that I can present the screen and take you through that. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to everyone who's. there?
Yeah, it is, Ajit.
Yeah, thank you. To start with, as Archana has rightly mentioned, we Shadowfax, we are one of the largest crowdsourcing logistics platform in India. We currently, in fact, are the leading crowdsourcing logistics platform in India. In fact, we are the only company in the industry who has presence in different vertical, name it from e-commerce, food, pharma, grocery, uh, any type of logistics arm that is there. We currently have our presence in each one of them. And to start with, I'll like to start with by introducing what our vision and mission is. So our primary vision is to bring convenience to how the commerce is done in the country by uh, bringing logistics, making logistics easier for different companies and clients who work with us, and in course of time also empowering millions of micro entrepreneurs and lives of people who are working with us as well. And how we're planning to do that, our primary focus is to have customer in the center, and delivering best customer experience through technology and innovation and solving problems which are currently in the logistics industry. And moving forward from here, I'll would like to introduce the founding team members here to start with. So, Mr. Abhishek Bansal is our co-founder and CEO. He and all the founding members of our team are alumni of IIT Delhi, and are also have been working with top consulting firms before they came together with the idea of starting Shadowfax in the year 2015. And ever since that, we had received multiple accolades and appreciations from multiple clients of ours and also industry experts, for the service that we provide to them, for the level of innovation and technological excellence that we are building while solving the problems, and also for our contribution to the society as well. So one of that is reflective here. As you can see, the kind of community support that we as a company have provided during the time of COVID, in terms of delivering essential goods to different places during the times of lockdown. That is also one of the appreciation that we have received during the course of time. And talking in terms of numbers, we have started in 2015 with delivering for restaurants within a 30-minute delivery time. And over the course of last 5 years, as I said, we have expanded to multiple business verticals like food, pharma, and there are acquisitions that are done in the course of time, in in terms of expanding our footprint. And currently, as of today, we do close to 500,000 deliveries per day across different verticals. And in course of time, we've expanded our footprint into 500 plus cities, and we have our services delivering to clients and customers in 7,000 plus pin codes with a active partner base of close to 30,000 plus. And we have in course of time, we have also built our logistics network of vehicles having spaces in different locations. And what you see here in terms of number is the current footprint we have in terms of different cities and numbers. So I'd like to pause here for a second and let everyone here absorb this slide. Uh, what is shown here is a reflective of what is the depth of client base that we have across different verticals that we operate in, be it food, pharma, grocery, e-commerce. We work with multiple online and offline partners. While the most of the growth has been coming from the internet age companies, we have seen a recent spike in brick and mortar companies also wanting to get into express logistics, and also even more during the recent COVID scenario, most of them wanting to get on online and starting working with logistics companies, and more importantly, like someone who provides best experience like us. In terms of developing our capabilities, we are also known as best for providing speed in the current logistics industry. Uh, Reflective of that is the kind of partnership that we have with all the major airlines that are showing here. We are in partnership with most of the airlines in close to 120 plus lanes, and for close to 50 plus cities, we also have uh, enabled next day delivery service as well. In these partnerships are not just for a logistic movement, most of these are also strategic in nature. For example, if I talk about the partnership that we have with SpiceJet, the recent development also is to deliver COVID vaccine to multiple locations in our country. That is a kind of a strategic partnership that we have in order to enhancing our capabilities at different levels. Yeah, talking about the investors of Shadowfax, so we have currently raised close to 100 million US dollars of capital raise so far, with the most recent one coming from Flipkart uh, in 2019, which is a Series D funding of 60 million US dollars raised. And most of this is currently being used to expand our footprint further from 500 cities and 7,000 pin codes that we are currently present in, to expand into next set of 200 cities and another 2000 pin codes in next 1 year course of time. Yeah. Before I get into what the business structure of the franchises that we're looking into, maybe Beta, Ankit, if you want to add anything before I go ahead and uh, take the team here through the business model.
We can go ahead, Ajit. I would like to take questions from the audience later on.
Yeah, sure. So before I jump into explaining the business model, I'd like to explain a bit more about what is the kind of requirement that we're talking about. So the current requirement for franchisees that we're talking about is for our e-commerce network. So how I would like to take a minute and explain how our current e-commerce network works. So we currently work with close to 150 plus different kinds of e-commerce clients, namely Flipkart, Myntra, Meesho, Snapdeal. Most of the e-commerce clients in India are someone whom we are partnered with. So we do end-to-end logistics for them, which means picking up the shipments from their sellers or the warehouse and moving it across different legs in supply chain and delivering it to the end customer. And the franchisees here which we are talking about are those whom we want to partner with in serving the last leg of logistics, which we call as last mile, and delivering the shipments to the customer. And here is where we want to partner with uh, people who are wanting to become entrepreneurs and to serve the best customer experience in e-commerce to the end customers. So what a typical franchisee mean is a facility from which a partner will operate and who will be doing both forward deliveries as well as customer pickups. So the role of franchisee will also include delivering the shipments to the end customer, and also in at times picking up the shipments from the customer and connecting it back to the further supply chain of Shadowfax. And the role would also include the expectation is that the partner will also be hiring and managing delivery partners, and in delivering package to the customer, it also means the partner should be well equipped enough to deliver best customer experience, which is the very key here. And in terms of talking about what kind of infrastructure would be needed, any franchisee that we would be partnering with, obviously there needs to be a space from where they would be operating, where the shipments would be stored, sorted, and will be assigned to delivery partner and would be delivered from there. And in order to operate on the tools that we work on, there's also a requirement for a laptop, a printer, and an infrastructure in terms of table, chair, bins, racks to sort and place your shipments. In addition to that, there's a refundable security deposit of 1 lakh per every facility that we open, uh, which is to cover the risk of cash and shipments that the partner would be handling. In addition to that, the investment expected is also a non-refundable security deposit of 20,000, which covers the onboarding and activation fee. And this also includes a complimentary starter kit, which will have initial delivery bags and t-shirts for the initial set of delivery partners that the franchisee partner would onboard. What is the qualification criteria here? We are looking for people who have already experience in logistics and courier industry, have a good understanding of how e-commerce industry works. The reason is we want someone who would be aware and understanding of what is the how is the way to deliver best customer experience here. Moving forward, what kind of support will be provided by Shadowfax in meantime? We will be handholding the franchisee partner till the time they are well equipped enough in delivering the best customer experience. There'll be training sessions and helping them in setting up the business. There'll be access to tools to run your business. There will be a team which will be dedicated to give you daily mentoring on building up the business as well as scale up. And also there'll be a minimum guarantee billing for the first set of months in order to cover for the initial set of investment that will be done. And what kind of revenue potential are we looking at? Depending upon the city that the partner will be working in, there is a revenue potential of close to 70,000 to 1 lakh per month per facility that the partner would open. Talking about how the payout structure would be, the payout structure is basically for every shipment that is delivered or picked, what we call a successful conversion. And the amount for that ranges between rupees 19 to 20 to 23, again, depending upon the location that the partner would be working with us. And in order to encourage the partners who are delivering good performance, there is also a performance based incentive of 2 to 3 rupees for every successful conversion. And the commitment is also to give a daily load of around 80 within 60 days of activating any location. And how would be the growth path for the partners who will be tying with us? While we are saying we'll be starting with e-commerce franchisees, there are other different verticals of Shadowfax which will eventually be working, which eventually will partners would get a chance to work with. That also includes a courier business that will be starting soon, and also cargo movement. Our partners can just serve as a franchisee partner in delivering those couriers and cargo, and in addition they can also become like a booking centers where they can generate sales for us, and can get a ROI on the sales that they would be generating as well. And obvious growth path would be if there's a partner who has started a single location, based on the performance, and if they're willing to expand to another locations around their vicinity, that is also an organic growth path that would be that a partner would be encouraged to do. Mm, there are set of FAQs that we have covered as a part of this, but I think we'll take these questions along with the questions that are coming up with audience. So from presentation point of view, this is all we have. I think we'd be open for questions now.
Thank you very much. Lovely presentation, and we can see already that there's a lot of response, and audiences, our investors on the webinar are asking their pin codes, and so a lot of people are applying. So please continue, and also with this pin code, share your city also. So Sonia would then spend a little more time in terms of seeing which codes are approved and which are not approved. It's a very interesting opportunity. We have a huge demand, and that's why we specially invited the entire team of Shadowfax to really come and present. So I'll start with the first question, and any of you can really choose to answer that. In terms of a business model itself, while you've given some statistics in terms of investment, about ₹1,00,000 as deposit and 20,000 as onboarding fee. So my first question would be, what is the onboarding process? Is there a specific training cycle which needs to be done, and how the people are needs to be understood? And you said that 80 target within 60 days. If you can even further go and elaborate that. And finally, my question would be that what do you see as a business model? Somebody starts a startup with you and puts as this center. What kind of a time frame, the time involvement they would need to do? What kind of advice you would like to give that they can build a successful business for themselves? So if you can go into a little more in detail on how to really build this business, and also give some examples of very successful partners you already have, what kind of numbers they're doing, and give us a range on that. What can really this mean as far as potential earning is concerned?
Great. Sure, Gaurav. I'll take this up to start with. So, answering your first question, what would be the onboarding procedure and that? So, we have defined a certain set of cities uh, which are shared with Franchise India team as well. Next set of 150 cities where we would want to expand. Uh, our first, we not be restricted to that 150 cities, but our first priority would be for people who are willing to open any franchisee in that set of cities. And how it works is, there's a set of pin codes that we have, uh, where one of which pin codes for a certain city, for example, there are 5 pin codes tagged. If we have a franchisee partner who is willing to open in that location, then we will initially evaluate what are the capabilities that they currently have in the terms of qualification criteria. That is their background in the logistics business, and do they have a space to operate? Is it a space that is well connected, so that there is easy access for the further logistics connections? That will be one thing that will be checked. And the next level would be, how are the commercials looking at that place? The range of 19 to 23 that I mentioned about, depending upon the city, we will be looking at what is the rate that we can close it. And the third one would be the another investment criteria of refundable and non-refundable security deposit that we have mentioned. So these three would be initial set of criteria, and post that, we also have a standard BGV check that happens as a part of onboarding process for the partner. And once the BGV is done, there will be a agreement procedure also that happens in parallel with the BGV procedure. And once the agreement is signed, which also includes our pre-agreement procedures, which are commercial negotiation and BGSD confirmation, we are good to go from that location. And how, answering your second question, how do we see the growth happening from starting to 80 days in 80 shipments per day in 60 days? What we do from our side is, when we open a location, we expose those pin codes to different client set of ours, and we start pushing the client to give us orders in those pin codes. And how does the growth happen? So the growth is primarily and most prominently dependent on what is the kind of customer experience that is being delivered in the franchisee location. By
Ajit, sorry to interrupt. So before we missed out on another step of which is training. So we have a fleet on street, which ensures that every new partner that is onboarded is being trained before the operations go live. So post all the agreement and background verification and all the rate card commercial finalization is done, one of our team members would be assisting our partner or potential partner in setting the operations up. So, and the training might happen at the facility that the partner is taking up, or can happen at our own facility which is close by. So we coordinate the training there, and post training we start our operations, and what Ajit is speaking about, making the pin codes live at the client's end, and then start pushing on volumes to the partner that we have made live.
Okay, and staying on the training part, just to get the elaboration, clarity on that, which means that this would be partner training, and also further there, if they hire a delivery person or a delivery boy, that also is trained. And these are two separate
No,
training.
so for that we kind of follow a train the trainer program. So the when I say partner, I meant the franchisee partner that I'm going to get from here. We will train the franchisee partner. Franchisee partner in turn then has to train the delivery partner that they're going to onboard.
Okay, okay, yeah, understood. Yeah.
Yeah, so growth path, as I said, following up on what Vita has mentioned. So it's prominently dependent on what kind of performance and the customer experience that is being delivered in the last mile. So that is solely dependent on how franchisee partner is performing, how diligent are they in terms of attempting the shipments, in terms of contacting customers, try going that extra step to delivering those shipments and parcels to the customer. And from our side, there'll be definite push from to the clients to expand the volumes. Uh, Coming to your third question on the success stories, we have partners who have started with us with the same model that we are doing and have expanded up to doing close to 2,000 shipments per day as well. So we have a partner in Nashik, Madurai who have expanded to a level doing 2,000 shipments with us, all because they were giving best customer experience from day one, are willing to spend that extra rupee in order to hire delivery partners, build capacity, uh, and in at the end, it's most about delivering best customer experience.
So staying on the Nasik example, that's very important, that how scalable this business is. How many delivery partners they would have for us successfully delivering, say, 2,000 deliveries per day. 2,000 deliveries is a very, very good business, and it becomes a sizable business then. And if somebody wants to do, and Nasik is a good example because Nasik is not really a big city. It's still a tier two city, and not so aggressive city, unlike Bombay or a Pune or places like that. But Nasik is a good example for us to really go into depth that what would it take to do a, say, 2,000, or even you can take a smaller example of, say, 500 deliveries a day. What kind of size you need to build?
So any partners to start with. So the scale up would be gradual. We would not immediately having that scale because the scale is obviously dependent on the performance. So initially, any partner would be expected to have two delivery boys, two well-trained delivery boys. You'll get volumes according to that. And by the time you reach 500 shipments, for example, uh, the partner would be needing close to 11, 12 delivery boys, and obviously there will be one person who will be managing all of these. And if you reach to a scale of 1,000, 1,500, would need one more person in addition to the sole hub in charge, who would also be managing delivery partners, managing shifts. When you are working at a scale of 500,000, there will be, you also need to work in multiple shifts. Whereas when the scale is less at a 80, 100, one shift per day should be fine. So the scale up would require in terms of investment in manpower, also people who would be managing that, and obviously for a bigger, once you have expanded to a 500,000 kind of a scale, you would also be needing a bigger facility, a better way to sort your shipments, keep your shipments, for which there will be definite training from us as well.
Very helpful. So I'll take two more important points, which I think would come in, and a lot of people are actually giving multiple codes, PIN codes. Would you be open, while you said that in your presentation, but would you be open for somebody to take multiple PIN codes, and if the capacity and their, I think that's one. Second, I think because looking at the interest we are getting from people, there's a lot of people who are interested, and I'm sure that a lot of them are not really from logistics. How are you qualifying? Is there people without logistic, because still a straightforward business, it doesn't require too much of understanding because you're just a last mile fulfillment. Would you consider people without logistics or any other backgrounds which you feel that I have better capability?
Mm. So the first question that you have asked, whether we are open to expanding to cities other than the list that we have given, definitely yes. That's a definite yes. So that's the priority list that we have. But if we get leads and interest from the people from other cities and other set of pin codes, we would definitely be willing to work with us. And follow up to that, if a partner is wanting to open multiple pin codes. So how it runs is we look at it at a city level, and each city might be having 4 to 5 pin codes. So multiple pin codes is something that is covered. And if your question is multiple pin codes at two different places in two different cities, we would like to assess performance of a partner before expanding to multiple locations. That is one of the criteria we have. So we'll be willing to start at a one particular location, and then based on the performance, the expansion would be gradual and immediate. That is not something that we need to worry about. Coming to your final question, uh, whether we are okay with partnering with someone who is not in logistics industry, uh, that is something we take a call on a case to case basis, looking at what kind of experience, if not logistics, if they are in retail, if there's something who understand e-commerce, logistics, customer experience. Based on that, we can take call case to case basis. It's not a 0 1 key. They have to definitely be in logistics. They can be in industry related to logistics, like retail or maybe a pharma, areas like that, who are willing to work with us. We can gauge their interest and expertise and take call accordingly.
Sure, very helpful. And I would like to request everybody, because there are a lot of messages we are getting, and also it coming on our business hotline number. I would request that if everybody sends a little profile on the business hotline number, which is 97176838838, send a WhatsApp. We'll make a complete list. Today itself, we'll send it to Shadowfax team for them to see that these locations are open. And even if you can apply for locations which are not part of the original list which has been opened, if there is an opportunity which is available, we would absolutely come back to you. So please send a WhatsApp immediately so that we can capture the entire list and then forward it to Shadowfax team. I'll take one more question, because there are a lot of people applying for major cities, and which is not part of the current list which has come in. But I'm sure there would be gaps in those markets also. So if somebody is really serious and very good to join in, would we consider in the major cities also some of the locations or places where you feel that you want to change somebody? Because it always happens, because you're a very large network. You might have somebody who's not doing the work the same way, the capacity in a very high potential market, say like Mumbai. So even a small neighborhood can become a very large delivery market. Would you have options for that, so that we can really present to you and you can really check that these locations are available?
Uh, I would answer that. So the opportunity that we spoke about is primarily in tier 3 and tier 4 towns in India currently. Uh, Having said that, we are currently not open to any sort of partnership in the set of cities that we are running ourselves. But in future, there will be opportunities that would open up. So once we have the association with a partner, with a franchisee partner, we can take it up in bigger cities as well in future. But not this opportunity we spoke about is just limited to tier 3 and tier 4 towns for now.
Okay, that's very helpful. I'll take one more question in terms of, which are the major clients you would like to share, which currently Shadowfax is serving, and what kind of, because it's largely e-commerce and structure, and how do you see the vision of the company over the next, 2 to 3 years? What is the vision it looks like? Because it's very important for people to get associated and be partner with something which is going to be exciting for next 3-4 years run. And then I'll pass it on to Sonia to start taking a lot of questions from the audience.
Okay, so if you look at the growth story of Shadowfax, we started off only operating in hyperlocal, which is intra-city express delivery sort of a space. We added e-commerce, we have added B2B, which is our offline cargo, you can call it a cargo business. We're going to add more businesses to our portfolio going forward. So something like a warehousing is also on the cards in future. So that we aim to become end-to-end, a full stack logistics solutions provider, not just limiting to logistic itself. We want to provide the full gamut of services, starting from warehousing till last mile delivery. So in terms of verticals, hyperlocal is something that we have already grown a lot into, and it's further growth will happen in that vertical. What we see there is partnership with within the city. We are partnering with a lot of offline brands, as Ajit was pointing out, and that's a development that has happened recently. So we have partnership with the likes of Big Bazaar or DMart, who are doing deliveries directly to customers from their stores. So a lot of omni-channel play will happen in hyperlocal space. And when it comes to e-commerce is moving towards a micro fulfillment kind of a space where rather than fulfilling orders, having one warehouse in a country and fulfilling all orders from there, now clients are distributing their, going to have a more distributed structure in terms of warehousing, where we would also come in. We aim to run these micro fulfillment centers for our clients as well, in line with our aspiration to add warehousing to our overall portfolio. And we also got a lot of have a big pipeline of B2, what we call as B2B clients. These are your offline players, which can be FMCG or pharma. So the likes of HUL, ITC are the kind of clients that we are currently working or aim to work in future. So that ways we'll have hyperlocal e-commerce as well as the offline, typical offline cargo and courier business that we want to get into. Of course, retail could typical C2C, what we call as the retail courier portfolio, is something that we also aim to add in future. So primarily 5 businesses that I spoke about: hyperlocal, e-commerce, cargo, courier, as well as warehousing.
Absolutely. So there is a huge opportunity to partner, and there would be more possibilities coming on the way. And we really appreciate everybody applying for this. This would be one of the records that in next last 10 minutes we have received about 300 plus WhatsApps, which are direct application people applying for the franchise. So it also reflects that how many people are interested in the micro opportunities today, and especially on the logistic, how much the belief system has come in. This is remarkable. And so over to you, Sonia, for your comments and the questions. And it will be also very interesting, Ajit, if you were showing this frequently asked questions, the slide which you were doing, that was also very interesting if you want to run that through, because a lot of questions might be covered in that also.
Yeah, sure. So maybe I'll take a minute or two to run through this.
Yeah.
So the first question is straightly related to what is the kind of revenue that can be expected here. So as I said, we'll in the initial days, we'll be trying to have close to 30-40 orders per day. And we expect to see that going to 80 to 100 plus orders in 2 months time. That and revenues would be directly related to the orders and the type of conversion that we'll be having. Second is what is the payment structure and cycle, how will the payments happen? So the payment is for every successful conversion, be it a forward delivery or a reverse pickup. And the amount ranges between 19 to 23 depending upon the location. Would also include performance incentives depending upon the conversion, which is also close to 2 to 3 rupees per shipment. And generally our payment and billing cycle follows a 30-day cycle. That means for December end, for the December operations that happen, you would raise an invoice and the billing would happen by end of January. So that is the cycle that we typically follow. And what kind of area that would be required to start with, up to 100 150 shipments, an area of 350 to 400 square feet would be ideal. And in locations where we are looking at tier 2 tier 3 cities, 350 to 400 square feet would also, the rentals would also be considerable, would not be high as what our understanding is. Coming to another investment of security deposit and conditions, there's a 1 lakh refundable security deposit for every facility and a non-refundable security deposit of 20K. The non-refundable security deposit also includes your onboarding and activation fee, along with the initial set of stationery, t-shirts and bags that will be sent to the partner. And coming to the type of pin codes, any partner who will be working with us in a given city, if a partner is working for say 5 pin codes, all the shipments and orders coming to Shadowfax in that 5 pin codes will be exclusive for that franchisee partner. So that given a pin code, there will not be 2 different franchisee partners. There will be only 1 partner for every pin code that we have. And the incentive and penalty structure is straightly dependent on the performance. incentives are generally in the range of 2 to 3 for every shipment. That is directly related to the conversion and customer experience matrices that we follow.
So very helpful, very helpful, and this is a very interesting opportunity, because once you get a pin code, you are an exclusive partner. As the business keeps growing in and you keep building the business, you have the full control of the pin code. And it's also very important, there are specific pin codes which would have higher potential than others. And if they are open, you can apply for that because they are more keen, as I said, on the tier 3 and tier 4. And I personally feel there's a much bigger opportunity also available in these markets, because you don't have other franchise opportunities which can travel that far on a tier 3 and tier 4. And this also is reflective, as I said, I mean, 300 now, I'm just going, because they're sending me regular message on how many have applied. This is already about another 75 WhatsApps have come because of Facebook Live, this is coming in. So over to you, Sonia, and we will set this sheet today itself. We don't want to really take this excitement away from people who are applying. So telling them the fact, at least we have to have a courtesy to respond everybody if they have a location which is approved, not approved, so that they can really do that. So this we will be sharing with the team at Shadowfax today itself. Over to you, Sonia.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ankit and Ajit, for coming in. I'll quickly go on the questions. We have number of questions, and friends, we cannot take all these questions, but we'll try and take some of the important questions that you have posted, and also as we receive your messages, we'll come back to you in the due course of maybe this week, in the next week, on the pin codes which are available. But just to start off, Ajit, my first question would be, coming back on the pin code. So what we're doing is we're giving per pin code one franchisee, correct? So if somebody wants to take multi, they would pay 1 lakh security each and 20,000 each as a kit.
No, I'll clarify that. So say there's a city, Cochin, for example. Cochin has 5 to 6 pin codes. So our partner would serve all the 5 pin codes together from a single facility. So the security deposit and refundable and non-refundable is tagged to a facility, not the pin code. So 5 pin codes, 1 facility, 1 lakh security deposit, refundable, and 20 non-refundable. Hope that answers the question.
Okay, so it would be a combination of 5 pin codes and not 1 pin code, right?
Not 1 pin code, set of pin codes. 5 is an example that I gave. It could vary from 2 to 6.
All right, depending on the opportunity. Another question, Ajit, my question to you would be, while we have defined the cities, you have defined the pin codes, how is the potential of the business certain? If I say these are 5 pin codes I would do, or 3 pin codes I would do, what is the minimum potential of business that you foresee for each partner, and how is that certain?
So we have, there's a selection criteria for the set of cities as well. So we have selected cities where we see potential from our clients. So these are also cities where our clients are also wanting to expand business and have suggested us that if you open and expand to these set of cities, you will be getting orders. So that the numbers that you have seen, that the growth from 0 to 80 in 60 days, that is also based on our inputs from our clients as well. So the cities that we have defined are those where there is order potential.
Okay. And you talked about an order size of 80 to start off with, and which should ideally go to about 100 per day. Per day, or days of 3,000 orders in a month, ideally one partner should be able to do. Is that the minimum throughput that we feel an area or the partner should have, or it can even go beyond?
Sonia, I'm sorry, I think I missed you in between. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm repeating. Ajit, you mentioned at least 80 orders per day to 100 orders per day one should be able to reach by the end of the month, which makes at least 3,000 orders in a month by a partner. So is that something which is minimum he should be able to reach in order to survive? Is that what we also imply by this?
So generally for a partner who gets 80 shipments per day, considering also the initial investment in terms of infrastructure, we see break-even generally happening at around 5th or 6th month, if that is the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just give me, maybe if you translate that into maybe the revenue he would make. So for example, 3,000 orders in a month would convert to what kind of a revenue for him? That multiplied by 3 rupees is what you said is per order conversion he gets?
No, it's 19 to 23 for a successful conversion. So 3,000 shipments here, if you're talking about, that's a revenue potential of close to 60,000 per month.
Okay. And additional, there is 2 to 3 rupees incentivization.
That's a
Is that the
performance incentive. That would be
Okay.
additional 3,000,
Okay.
sorry,
And
6,000
that
to 9.
also is based on the potential of what he can do in that pin code, right? And that is different for each partner.
Uh,
Helpful.
Dependent on partner, mostly with respect to the performance that they give, not only dependent on the potential of pin code.
Okay, both revenue and maybe the volume and value both.
Yes.
Okay, another thing which I want to, you talked about an area of 350 square feet and can go up to maybe higher also. And is there any other additional investment which is required in this infrastructure apart from I think, system that you talked about and vehicle he needs to have? Any other investment that he needs to do in the infrastructure of 350 square feet is one question. And second question, which I also saw coming in, if you have a smaller business initially and you have maybe a facility which can be expanded over a period of time, can you start with a smaller infrastructure and then gradually expand that?
Yeah. So the 350 to 400 that we told is ideal to start with. That would be ideal to manage till 200 to 50 shipments as well. So that is our understanding. A good 350 square feet area should be able to manage close to 350, 300 shipments also.
Okay.
Coming to the infrastructure that would be needed, the mandatory infrastructure that I already spoke about is a computer, printer, scanner, table, chair, and racks in order to place the shipments. As the scale increases, the additional investment would be in terms of multiple scanners and maybe bins or cartons in order to sort the shipments. But that investment as a percentage of revenue based on the scale up would be very less.
Okay. All right. Another question which I will pick up is on the operating expenses. So we have talked about the potential, one facility or partner can do, which starts from maybe 70,000. What would be his operating expenses in the month? Typically maybe the rental of the facility, the salary of the delivery boy, and maybe other expenses of even delivery, the vehicle which is being used. So how much of that, if we talk about a conversion of 19 rupees per pickup or success, so out of that, how much should be your cost of actually servicing it? The 19 rupees का एक हम pick करते हैं, उसमें cost of servicing क्या है? And which are the other operating expenses he would need to incur in the month, ideally, including his maybe rentals and salaries?
So the Beta, you want to take this up?
Yeah. So the operating costs are quite minimal when it comes to running a delivery center or delivery hub. You've already covered those in your question itself. So the cost would be rental plus the supervisor. So there are two kinds of manpower who would be working there. One is a supervisor who would be managing the facility, and then there'll be salaries of the delivery partners or delivery boys that the partner would employ. So rental, manpower. In terms of other costs, what there'll be a cost for. These would be simpler expenses like electricity, internet, and other what we call as petty cash expenses. So nothing more than that. And when it comes to vehicles, so the delivery boys that we're talking about, usually they come with their own bikes or scooters for delivery. So the partner the partner is not required to have its own vehicle for delivery as per se. So when he recruits a delivery boy, the assumption is that the delivery boy will come with the bike itself.
All right, great. Now talking about, I'd like to pick a question on the term of our agreement. How long are we signing the term with the partner? And if any annual fees we charge the term gets over?
So our standard agreement is for 1 year, and the 20K refundable, non-refundable security deposit that we talked about, that covers your agreement, onboarding, activation fee, everything. Standard agreement is 1 year, and generally partners who are good with their performance, that gets auto renewed. That is something we take care of. There are no renewal charges as well.
Okay, so they can renew if the performance is good.
Great. Now, another question which I was also seeing is what happens to any consignment which is damaged? How is that handled? Who bears the penalty? And also the other question was on the insurance of the consignment.
Okay. So we have a standard operating procedures on which we'll train the partners. And our agreement also mentions how and when the ownership of consignment transfers from Shadowfax to delivery partner, and what are the measures that they need to take when they see a packet damage that has come to them. And all the procedures will be part of their training. So if a consignment is lost or damaged while in ownership of the partner, then in such cases the liability lies with the partner. And if a package is coming to them in damaged state, there is a mechanism through which they have to raise it time to time, basis which the respective liability will be assigned.
Okay. You also talked about in the presentation that you will also have more services which will come in, like courier services, warehousing. Will the franchisee have to pay additional fee for becoming a partner for these services, or they come as a part of the existing relationship with Shadowfax?
Mm. Ankit, would you like to take
Yeah.
that up?
So the non-refundable, I mean, there will not be any additional non-refundable fee. The security deposit may increase, right? For example, if you're increasing the size of the business and if the exposure of Shadowfax increases, then the refundable security deposit may increase, but the non-refundable remains same. That's again something that that's a call that we take on a case-to-case basis. For example, let's say if you're doing a lot of cargo deliveries through a franchisee, then depending on that potential, we'll have additional security deposit.
Okay, very helpful. Another question was for the delivery boys. Is there an app for these delivery boys where the entire process is tracked?
Yes, there is. And this would be part of the training
Okay.
that we spoke about. And we also have an in-house ERP that the supervisor is supposed to work on in the facility. That would help him process the shipment, scan, process, sort, assign deliveries to a delivery partner. So both the training will cover both the ERP as well as the delivery app, which the delivery boy is supposed to work on.
Okay, helpful. Keith, what I will do is, because I've seen, we cannot take every pin code on this webinar, but a lot of investors are asking and checking, and maybe, I'll take maybe a few seconds to tell which states are we open, and later on we can go one-on-one after the webinar to filter the locations. And outside these states, so overall, I see AP is a state we are open, Assam is open, Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, UP, Uttarakhand, and West
If you
Bengal.
see, all the states would be open. So we are not present in. So if you pick up a state like UP, you will not be present in all the pin codes.
Correct.
So the ones that we are not present in will be part of the list that we are sharing here. So almost all the states of India will be covered, if you see. And let's try to stick to these pin codes that we are sharing, because this is the next set of pin codes that we want to expand to.
Sure.
And let's limit our discussion to these pin codes only for now.
Sure. So we do not have, because I don't see Haryana there. So Haryana is currently not open. Delhi NCR is currently not open, and also Maharashtra. These are the states which are currently not open, and including MP also, we don't have an opening as we see. So friends, I've stated the states which are currently open. You may reach out to us. We have seen your pin codes, and you have to allow us some time, at least the next 1 week. We'll try and touch base with all of you. We received the request, including the webinar and also on the WhatsApp. And we'll come back to you, filter the profile. We'll have a document in case you qualify the criteria of the location and maybe profiling. We'll reach out to the team of Shadowfax in the coming week. And Ajit and Vita, would you want to suggest maybe a date where you can take up these calls? I know these will be too many of them. Would you want to maybe set up a date or maybe 2-3 dates where we can try and bring the prospects to you? And also advise what documents we should collect from the prospects to qualify them and bring filtered investors to you.
And just to add on that, I would say that why, because there is a lot of application and these inquiries are coming in. we'll send you for your consumption all these locations. So you can also review. Maybe say somebody is compelling opportunity comes from Maharashtra. Maharashtra is a very large state. So if there is something which comes in compelling, which you want to consider, then you can give us. We will like to appreciate, because of now I think there are about 460 messages have come in. We will do it today itself. We'll try to reach out to everybody to get the structure done. And I want to really appreciate from both from Shadowfax and from Franchise India, the people have taken their interest. So we have to respond to each one of them in that sense. And if there is not opportunity currently available, in the future, whenever this opens up, that can be considered. But we'll come back to every single interest which has applied, because we feel that it is our responsibility that we come back with the full response back to every single member. So any date which you have in mind where we can really fix it up, and we can bring in all qualified applications to you?
So for the set of documents that are needed for initial screening, Sonia, I'll share that to you post this call. That can be initial screening criteria, and we'll confirm on the date and how do we want to do further next set of screening. We'll also see who will be the people there during that time who can take care of the further evaluation process. We'll connect on deciding that.
Sure.
We can plan an event where we get our franchisee team to meet the potential candidates, and then we can take it forward from there. We'll come back with the dates. But
Sure.
This is how we are planning to do it.
Look
It
forward.
will be a larger audience, or a larger team would be talking to the potential investors here in the next event.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Ajit, Ankit, and Peter for coming in today. And as we close, any message that you want to give to the entire audience, which is here listening live, as well as the ones attending directly on this webinar?
Yeah, I just would like to add to what Ajit was saying. So this is for me a tremendous opportunity for all the investors who have joined in today. And Shadowfax has done really well in last 5 years and is continuing to do well in future as well. So if I were you, I'd be glad to be associated with somebody like Shadowfax, which is in a amazing growth trajectory right now. So this is the right time to partner with Shadowfax, and the opportunities in future would be immense, and it is only going to increase in future. So it is just the beginning. So don't get disheartened by the numbers that have been quoted here. The business opportunity, as Ajit was pointing out, is immense, and there are a lot of successful growth stories that we already have in our network. There are partners who started off with 1 location, now running 30 locations for us. In places like Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Imphal, which is far-flung and very difficult to reach otherwise. So yeah, looking forward to a great partnership with all of you. And of course, the response has been great till now. So look forward to catch up with you guys in future.
Look forward.
Thank you so much, Ajit. Thank you so
tremendous,
much.
Tremendous response, and I think it will take at least a 20-member team from us to really reply to these people today. So, but we'll do it today. We'll try to reach out to every single person who's applied, and because when people are buying and looking at business opportunity, they're very excited and they want to know more. And we don't want to, at Franchise India, we have a very large commitment towards our investors. So we'll make sure that we'll reach out to every single investor there. So thank you very much. Thanks for the entire team. And it was a great presentation. And thank you for making for this webinar. And this is the beginning of our partnership with you. And we look forward for bringing more and more investors to partner with Shadowfax. Over to you, Sonia, for your comments.
Thank you again, Ajit and Peter. We'll come back to you with the filtered profiles on the date that you would suggest to do so. And in the meantime, we look forward to receiving the documents that you want us to share with the investors who have shown their interest.
Sure.
Thank you and have a great day. Over to you, Archana.
Thanks, Sonia.
So thank you so much, entire team of Shadowfax, for joining in today. It was a great presentation from your side. We would like to thank our panel member, last but not the least, dear participants who have shown so much of love towards us. Thank you so much for joining in today. We will definitely come back to you. Please do connect with us at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. Please do share your profile, your detailed property details and other details at the same business hotline number. Share your suggestions and feedback. We'll definitely work on all the feedbacks as well as suggestions. Do connect with us at different social handles, information on your screen. Join us through Facebook, Franchise India Brands Limited Facebook. We have page where all the previously done webinars submit. Recording is available. You can go and rewatch them. You can also connect with management team of Franchise India at their respective LinkedIn IDs. That's the information on the screen. And tomorrow we are starting a new series, which is Franchisee Weekend Series, where we have taken a pledge to present top handpicks opportunity for you. So tomorrow would be the first edition for this particular series. Please do registration today so that you can join and understand the journey of these franchise opportunity which we are bringing for you. So do not miss this chance. Join us tomorrow sharp 12 p.m. for this particular webinar. Thank you so much once again for joining it today. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Have a great day. Bye.